Beloved, there comes a moment in life when you must decide, will you live for yourself, or will you keep twisting, shrinking, and molding yourself just to be accepted by others? If they doubt you, just let them. If they misunderstand you, just let them. It is not your job to convince anyone of your worth. It is not your responsibility to change so that others feel more comfortable around you. You are enough, just as you are. Many of us spend our lives seeking approval, chasing love, bending over backward to be liked. But I want you to hear me. Love should never require you to abandon yourself. When you stop trying to prove yourself, something magical happens. You become free. Free from the weight of expectations, free from the burden of pleasing everyone. Some will judge you, let them. Some will gossip, let them. Some will leave, let them. Because those who truly belong in your life will love you without conditions. They will celebrate your essence, not demand your transformation. Change should be for your growth, not for someone else's comfort. Your journey is yours. Your light is yours. Your soul's path is yours. So stand in your truth, love yourself fiercely, and trust that when you embrace who you are, the universe will align everything in your. Just let them and set yourself free. From the moment you took your first breath, you were whole. You were not born lacking, incomplete, or needing to be fixed. The world may have tried to convince you otherwise, telling you that you need to be smarter, thinner, richer, more successful, more of something to be worthy. But the truth is, you were never meant to be anything other than who you are. Think of a flower in a garden. It does not compare itself to the others. It does not shrink because another flower blooms differently. It simply grows, knowing that its beauty is unique. And yet, as human beings, we doubt our own brilliance. We measure our worth by someone else's opinion, by their approval, by their acceptance. But real self-worth is not something given to you by others. It is something you decide for yourself. It is the knowing that you are valuable not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You do not need to achieve more to be enough. You do not need to change to be worthy of love. You are not too much, nor are you too little. You are not broken. When you finally see yourself as enough, you stop grasping for external validation. You stop chasing after people who don't see your value. You stop begging for love in places that cannot give it. You begin to understand that your presence is a gift. Your voice matters and your existence is meaningful just as it is. Everything you need is already inside you. Every strength, every answer, every ounce of love, it is already there waiting for you to embrace it. There is no one else who can be you, no one else who can bring to this world what you bring. You do not need to fit into someone else's mold. You were created to stand in your own light. People will talk. They will have opinions about you, about the way you live, the choices you make, the dreams you chase. Some will misunderstand your heart, no matter how pure your intentions are. Some will judge your journey without ever walking a step in your shoes, but that is their burden to carry, not yours. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to seek permission to be who you are. Let them think what they want to think. Let them assume what they want to assume. The moment you stop trying to control how others see you, you set yourself free. Not everyone will support you, and that's okay. Some people may distance themselves when you grow, when you heal, when you step into your power. Let them. It is not your job to hold on to people who are no longer aligned with your path. It is not your responsibility to shrink yourself just to make others feel comfortable. Let them criticize, let them doubt, let them resist the changes you make for yourself. You cannot change their perspective, nor should you try. The only thing you can do is stay true to yourself. When you live authentically, those who are meant to be in your life will stay. Those who are only meant to be a chapter in your story will fade away. Energy flows where attention goes. If you focus on proving yourself to others, you will lose yourself in the process. If you try to fix what was never yours to fix, you will exhaust your spirit. Instead, let them be. Let them have their thoughts, their judgments, their opinions. You were never meant to live according to their expectations. People will always have something to say. No matter how much kindness you show, no matter how much love you give, there will always be those who doubt, misunderstand, or criticize. Some will question your choices, judge your journey, or make assumptions about your life without ever knowing your heart. But their opinions are not your truth. Their words do not define you. You do not have to correct every misunderstanding. You do not have to prove yourself to those who are committed to seeing you in a certain way. If they choose to misinterpret your actions, let them. If they choose to walk away because you no longer fit into the version of you they were comfortable with, let them. If they refuse to see your growth, let them. Trying to control how others perceive you is a losing battle. The more you explain, the more they will twist your words. The more you try to please, the more they will expect. If you were not placed on this earth to be everything to everyone, you were not meant to be molded by the expectations of others. Some people will only love you as long as you fit into their idea of who you should be. The moment you step outside of that, the moment you choose yourself, they may leave. Let them. Let them stay in their comfort zone while you rise into your truth. Let them carry their judgments while you walk forward with grace. The ones who are meant for you will not need explanations. They will not need you to justify your decisions. They will understand without words, support without conditions, and love without limitations. But for those who cannot, those who resist, those who misunderstand, let them be. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every interaction you engage in, these are all forms of energy. Your energy is not infinite. It is a precious resource that must be protected, nurtured, and honored. You cannot pour into the world if your own cup is empty. You cannot give your best to others if you are constantly drained, exhausted, and depleted. There will always be people who try to pull you into their chaos. Some will come with negativity, seeking to drag you into their storms. Others will demand your time, your attention, your validation, without ever considering what you need in return. Not everyone who has access to you deserves a place in your life. You do not have to engage with every argument, respond to every criticism, or absorb every emotion that is thrown your way. Your peace is not something to be negotiated. You are allowed to walk away from anything that disturbs your spirit. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are allowed to remove yourself from spaces that do not respect your energy. The more you protect your energy, the more you align with your true self. When you constantly give to people who do not reciprocate, you will find yourself running on empty. When you surround yourself with those who do not uplift you, your light will begin to dim. You do not owe anyone constant availability. You do not have to be the healer, the fixer, or the emotional caretaker for everyone else at the expense of your own well-being. Your energy is the foundation of your life. What you allow into your space will either elevate you or drain you. Every conversation, every relationship, every thought, it all shapes the vibration you carry. Choose wisely where you invest your energy, because what you nourish will grow. For too long, we have been conditioned to seek approval. From childhood, we are taught to be good, to be likable, to fit in. We are praised when we meet expectations and corrected when we step outside the lines. Over time, we learn to measure our worth by how others perceive us, by their validation, their acceptance, their applause. But the truth is, no amount of external approval can ever replace the deep, unshakable foundation of self-love. When you chase approval, you hand over your power. You mold yourself to fit into spaces that may not even be meant for you. You silence your voice to avoid conflict. You shrink your dreams to avoid judgment. You suppress your truth to be accepted. But approval is fleeting. It shifts with opinions, it wavers with moods, and it disappears the moment you stop meeting someone else's expectations. Self-love, on the other hand, is unwavering. It is not based on how others see you, it is based on how you see yourself. It is knowing that you are worthy even when no one is clapping. It is standing firm in your truth even when others do not understand. It is choosing yourself even when it means disappointing those who expect you to be someone you are not. Approval will have you chasing endlessly, always looking outside yourself for reassurance. Self-love allows you to rest, to trust, to know that you are already enough. The moment you stop seeking permission to be yourself, you reclaim your freedom. The moment you stop depending on validation, you step into your true power. The moment you realize that your worth is not determined by others, you begin to live authentically. Not everyone will understand your choices. Not everyone will agree with your path. Some may judge, some may walk away, some may try to change you, but when you love yourself fully, their opinions hold no weight. When you stop seeking approval, you stop being controlled. When you choose self-love, you finally come home to yourself. From the time we are young, we are taught to seek approval. We learn to shape ourselves according to the expectations of others, parents, teachers, friends, society. We are rewarded when we fit in, when we meet the standards placed upon us, when we follow the rules that others have created. Slowly, without realizing it, we begin to measure our worth by how much validation we receive. We base our happiness on how many people like us, how well we are accepted, how much praise we get. But approval is a fragile foundation. It is temporary, unreliable, and never truly enough. When you live for approval, you give others the power to define you. You become trapped in a cycle of constantly trying to please, constantly adjusting, constantly striving to be good enough in the eyes of someone else. You may say yes when you really want to say no. You may stay quiet when you have something to say. You may abandon your own needs just to be accepted. But the price of approval is often your own peace. No matter how hard you try, you will never please everyone. Someone will always have an opinion about your choices. Someone will always find a reason to criticize, to judge, to question who you are. If you live your life for others, you will spend your days bending, breaking, and exhausting yourself trying to meet expectations that were never yours to fulfill. Self-love, however, is a different path. It is a choice to stand firm in your truth, to honor your needs, to embrace yourself fully without seeking permission. It is recognizing that you do not have to prove yourself to anyone. It is knowing that you are worthy, even when no one is watching, even when no one is clapping, even when no one understands. Choosing self-love means choosing freedom. It means making decisions that align with your soul rather than decisions that simply keep others comfortable. It means speaking your truth even when your voice shakes. It means allowing yourself to be seen even when not everyone approves. The more you love yourself, the less you depend on external validation. The more you accept yourself, the less the opinions of others affect you. The more you honor yourself, the more peace you find. Not everyone will understand the path you take. Not everyone will agree with your choices. Some will judge, some will resist, some will walk away. But self-love is not about being accepted by others. It is about accepting yourself fully, completely, and unapologetically. There will be times in your life when people misunderstand you. They will question your choices, doubt your dreams, and criticize your path. Some will judge without knowing your heart. Some will assume without asking. Some will resist the changes you make for yourself because it makes them uncomfortable. But you do not owe anyone an explanation for being who you are. You were not put on this earth to fit into a mold that makes others feel at ease. You were not meant to live according to someone else's expectations. Your journey is unique, your vision is personal, and your purpose is yours alone to fulfill. Trying to make everyone understand you is a losing battle. You will exhaust yourself trying to translate your soul to those who are not ready to hear it. Not everyone will understand your healing. Some will expect you to stay the same, to fit into the version of you they once knew. But growth requires change. Healing requires transformation, and not everyone is ready to accept that. Some will pull away when you set boundaries. Some will become distant when you choose peace over drama. Some will not know how to handle the strength that comes from loving yourself fully. Let them. Their understanding is not required for you to continue moving forward. When you start living in alignment with your truth, you may lose people along the way. That is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their capacity to see beyond their own perspective. Some will see your confidence as arrogance, but none of that is your burden to carry. The ones who are meant to be in your life will not need you to explain yourself. They will not need you to shrink, to adjust, to justify your existence. They will honor your journey even when they do not fully understand it. They will support your growth even when it means you outgrow certain spaces. They will love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. There is freedom in realizing that you do not need to be understood by everyone. There is peace in knowing that your path is yours to walk, whether others approve or not. The more you embrace yourself, the less the opinions of others will weigh on you. The more you trust yourself, the less validation you will seek. The more you stay true to who you are, the more you will attract those who truly see you. There will be moments in your life when you feel unseen, unheard, and misunderstood. You will make choices that others question, follow dreams that others dismiss, and grow in ways that make people uncomfortable. Not everyone will understand you, and that's okay. You were not born to meet the expectations of others. You were not meant to live in a way that makes everyone else comfortable while suffocating your own truth. Some people will misunderstand your silence. They will assume you are weak when in reality you are choosing peace over unnecessary battles. Others will misinterpret your strength, thinking you are cold or distant, when in truth you have simply learned to protect your energy. There will be those who criticize your growth, not because you are doing something wrong, but because your transformation reminds them of everything they are afraid to change. The more you evolve, the more you will outgrow certain relationships, environments, and conversations. Some will not recognize the new version of you, and that's because they are still attached to the person you used to be. They may try to pull you back into old patterns, old habits, and old ways of thinking, but you are not obligated to stay the same just to make others feel secure. Growth is a natural part of life, and not everyone is ready to evolve with you. You will find that some people only support you when you fit into their idea of who you should be. The moment you step outside of that, the moment you start living for yourself instead of their approval, they may resist. They may judge. They may distance themselves. Let them. You do not need permission to be yourself. Seeking understanding from those who are committed to misunderstanding you is a waste of your energy. You don't have to explain yourself to people who have already decided not to listen. You don't have to shrink yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth. The people who are meant for you, the ones who truly see you, will accept you without conditions. There is freedom in knowing that not everyone has to understand you. There is peace in releasing the need for approval. The more you embrace yourself, the less validation you will seek. The more you trust your path, the less other people's opinions will matter. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be true to yourself. Change is a natural part of life. You are meant to grow, evolve, and step into the highest version of yourself. But change should never be something you do just to please others. It should not come from a place of fear, from a need for approval, or from the pressure to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. True transformation happens when you choose to change for yourself. When you recognize that growth is a gift you give to yourself, not a requirement to be accepted by others. When you change for others, you lose pieces of yourself. You start to shape your words, your actions, and even your dreams around what will make people like you, what will make them stay, what will keep you from being judged. But no matter how much you adjust yourself to fit their expectations, it will never be enough. The goalposts will keep moving. The approval you worked so hard for will be temporary, and in the process you will forget who you truly are. Changing for yourself, however, is an act of self-love. It is deciding that you deserve to heal, to improve, to evolve. Not because anyone else expects it, but because you want to feel more at peace within yourself. It is recognizing that your happiness, your success, and your fulfillment should never be dictated by what others think. It is understanding that you are the only person who has to live with the choices you make, and therefore those choices should align with your truth, not someone else's standards. There will always be people who have opinions about your journey. Some will tell you you're changing too much. Others will say you're not changing enough. Some will criticize you for stepping into your power, while others will question why you stayed the same for so long. If you try to live by their expectations, you will never find peace. But when you choose to change for yourself, when you embrace your own path and trust your own timing, you will find a sense of freedom that no external approval could ever give you. Changing for yourself means setting boundaries that honor your well-being, even if others don't understand. It means walking away from situations that no longer serve you, even if people think you should stay. It means choosing to grow at your own pace, in your own way, without needing validation from anyone else. You are allowed to evolve on your terms. You are allowed to outgrow versions of yourself that no longer align with who you are becoming. You are allowed to change in ways that feel right for you, even if no one else sees the vision yet. The most powerful transformation happens when you stop asking for permission and start trusting yourself. When you stop waiting for others to support your growth and start realizing that your growth is your responsibility, when you decide that you are worthy of becoming everything you are meant to be, not for them, but for you. There is a weight you carry when you live for the approval of others, a quiet pressure that makes you second-guess yourself, that makes you say yes when you want to say no, that makes you dim your light so others feel more comfortable. But life was never meant to be lived as a performance. You were not created to be everything for everyone while neglecting yourself. The need to please is a chain, and the moment you release it, you set yourself free. People-pleasing often starts as a way to feel loved, accepted, and safe. You may have learned early on that being agreeable kept the peace, that sacrificing your needs made others happy, that making yourself small made you easier to love. But over time, it drains you. It pulls you further from your truth. It teaches you to place the comfort of others above your own well-being, and that is not the life you were meant to live. The more you seek to please, the more you abandon yourself. You start saying yes out of obligation, not desire. You take on responsibilities that are not yours. You mold yourself into versions that others approve of while slowly losing sight of who you really are. And no matter how much you give, no matter how much you adjust, it is never enough. Because the truth is, no amount of approval from others will ever replace the need for your own self-acceptance. Releasing the need to please does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become unkind or indifferent. It means you start honoring yourself just as much as you honor others. It means you recognize that your voice, your needs, and your boundaries matter. It means you stop betraying yourself just to keep others comfortable. Not everyone will like you when you choose yourself. Some will be upset when you stop overextending. Some will pull away when you set boundaries. Some will try to make you feel guilty for putting yourself first. Let them. Their disappointment is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their expectations. You do not exist to meet every demand placed upon you. You do not have to carry the weight of everyone else's happiness on your shoulders. The more you release the need to please, the lighter you become. You start making decisions based on what feels right for you, not on what others expect. You start surrounding yourself with people who respect you rather than those who only value what you can do for them. You reclaim your energy, your time, and your sense of self. You learn that your value is not measured by how much you sacrifice for others, but by how fully you embrace yourself. It is not selfish to put yourself first. It is not wrong to say no. It is not unkind to protect your peace. You deserve to live a life that is true to you, a life where your happiness is not dependent on external validation, a life where you are free to be exactly who you are. There will be moments when the world tries to pull you in different directions. People will have opinions about how you should live, what choices you should make, and who you should become. Some will question your dreams, others will doubt your abilities, and there will be times when even you wonder if you're on the right path. But no matter what distractions or doubts arise, you must stay true to your journey. Your path is yours alone. No one else can walk it for you. No one else knows the whispers of your heart, the calling of your soul, or the purpose that drives you. It is easy to be swayed by external voices, to second guess yourself when the world expects something different. But living for others will only take you further from your truth. When you compromise who you are to fit in, when you shrink yourself to meet expectations, you disconnect from the very essence of your being. There will be times when the road feels lonely. Growth often requires distance from the familiar, and not everyone will understand your journey. Some will try to convince you to take an easier route. Others will project their fears onto you, telling you to stay where it's safe, where it's predictable. But their fears are not yours to carry. You are not meant to stay small. You are meant to expand, to evolve, to embrace every step of your journey with courage. Staying true to your path means trusting yourself, even when you don't have all the answers. It means following your intuition, even when logic tells you otherwise. It means believing in yourself, even when no one else does. The world is full of distractions, comparison, doubt, external validation, but none of these things define your journey. Your path is shaped by the choices you make, the lessons you learn, and the person you are becoming. There will be challenges along the way, obstacles will arise, and setbacks may make you question whether you are moving in the right direction. But setbacks are not signs to turn back. They are opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Every challenge teaches you something. Every difficulty refines your vision. Every delay is preparing you for something greater. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Some will not understand your choices, and that's okay. You do not need to explain your journey to those who were never meant to walk it with you. Those who are truly meant for you will support you, not because they see the destination, but because they believe in your ability to get there. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, who respect your path even if it looks different from theirs. The most beautiful thing you can do is live in alignment with your truth. When you choose authenticity over approval, purpose over fear, and self-trust over doubt, you step into a life that feels right for you. You begin to realize that you don't need permission to follow your dreams, that you are not here to live someone else's life. Your path is sacred, and the only person who needs to believe in it is you. Holding on to pain is like carrying a heavy weight that was never meant for you. Resentment, anger, and past wounds do not punish those who hurt you. They only keep you trapped in a cycle of suffering. Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened, nor is it about pretending the pain didn't exist. It is about choosing to free yourself. It is about deciding that your peace is more important than carrying the burden of what can no longer be changed. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It is a process of releasing the hold that past experiences have on you. The longer you hold onto resentment, the more it drains your energy, the more it clouds your vision, and the more it ties you to a version of yourself that is stuck in pain. When you forgive, You are not saying that what happened was okay. You are simply saying that you will no longer allow it to control your present or dictate your future. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean denying your emotions or ignoring the lessons you have learned. It means making peace with the past so that it no longer has power over you. It means reclaiming your joy, your clarity, and your ability to move forward without the weight of old wounds. Every time you choose to let go, you are choosing freedom. You are choosing yourself. People will hurt you. Some will apologize and some never will. Some will understand the pain they caused, and others may never take responsibility. But your healing is not dependent on their actions. It is not waiting for their remorse or their acknowledgement. It is something you do for yourself because you deserve peace. You deserve to wake up without carrying yesterday's pain into today. Forgiveness is a practice, not a one-time decision. There may be days when the memories resurface, when the emotions feel fresh again, when the hurt tries to take hold of you once more. And in those moments, you gently remind yourself that you are choosing to be free. You remind yourself that your energy is too sacred to be spent on the past. You remind yourself that the person you are becoming is far more important than what has been left behind. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It takes courage to release the grip of the past. It takes bravery to soften when the world has made you hard. It takes wisdom to know that peace is worth more than proving a point, more than holding on to a grudge, more than waiting for an apology that may never come. Your heart deserves to be light. Your spirit deserves to be free. The moment you decide to forgive and let go, you make space for something greater: love, joy, healing, and the beautiful life that awaits when you are no longer carrying what was never meant to stay. There is a force greater than you, greater than anything you can see, always working in your favor, even when you feel lost, even when things don't go as planned, even when you cannot see the full picture. Know that you are being guided. The universe is always supporting you, always leading you toward growth, healing, and abundance. There is no such thing as being alone on this journey. You are always held, always protected, always exactly where you need to be. Life may not always unfold the way you expect, but trust that it is unfolding exactly as it should. Every delay, every challenge, every closed door is not a punishment. It is redirection. The universe sees the bigger picture. It knows what is best for you, even when you can't see it yet. What you perceive as failure is often protection. What you see as an obstacle is often a lesson. The things that didn't work out were never meant to hold you back. They were clearing the way for something better. You are supported in ways beyond your understanding. The people who come into your life, the experiences that shape you, the moments that push you to grow, all of it is part of a greater plan. There is wisdom in the timing of your life. When things don't happen when you want them to, it does not mean they will never happen. It means there is still something to learn, something to prepare for, something aligning in the unseen that will make your path even greater. When you trust that you are supported, you release the need to control. You stop forcing things to happen and start allowing them to unfold. You stop worrying about what's next and start embracing where you are. The more you trust, the more you open yourself to receive. The universe responds to your energy. When you believe in abundance, it flows to you. When you align with love, it surrounds you. When you move with faith instead of fear, you begin to see signs everywhere, reminding you that you are never alone. There is no need to fear the unknown, because the unknown is where possibilities live. It is where miracles unfold. It is where life surprises you in the most beautiful ways. The universe is always conspiring in your favor, always guiding you toward what is meant for you, even in moments of uncertainty, even in times of struggle, even when you feel like nothing is working out. Trust that you are still being led towards something greater. You do not have to figure everything out at once. You do not have to have all the answers. All you need is trust. Trust that everything is working for you. Trust that the lessons you are learning now will serve you later. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. The more you trust, the more you allow yourself to be carried by the flow of life rather than resisting it. The universe has never abandoned you. It has never forgotten you. It has been guiding you since the moment you arrived in this world. It whispers to you in moments of stillness. It sends you signs when you least expect them. It places you exactly where you need to be, even if you don't understand why just yet. Everything is unfolding for your highest good. Everything is happening in divine timing. You are supported. You are held. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You were never meant to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. You were not placed in this world to constantly seek approval, to change who you are for acceptance, or to carry the weight of past pain. You are here to grow, to love yourself unconditionally, and to embrace the life that is waiting for you. The moment you choose self-love over validation, peace over resentment, and trust over fear, you step into your true power. Let them think what they want. Let them walk away if they must. Let them misunderstand you. None of it defines you. What defines you is how you choose to honor yourself. Your energy is sacred. Protect it. Your path is unique. Walk it boldly. The universe is supporting you. Trust it. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to prove yourself. Simply be. Love yourself fully. Let go of what no longer serves you, and watch as life begins to unfold in ways more beautiful than you ever imagined.